So what is it? What is the magic number? How much money should a freight broker actually make on a particular load? What should be the commission that a freight broker makes? Should those commissions be capped? At the end of the day, the freight broker decides how much money he should make on a load. But since others are impacted by the commissions of a freight broker, if you're making too much money, then it won't be sustainable. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about what I think, how much money freight brokers should make. So come on inside, sit back, relax, and let's get down into the business. All right, so today we're talking about commissions of a freight broker. And as you already know, some people get really hot and bothered about how much money freight brokers make on a load. And don't get me wrong, I can understand that truck drivers who feel like they're being cheated, like something is being taken from them, I get that, I understand that. But the other part is that the truck driver is in charge of his asset. He determines how much money he's going to get paid. He determines how much money he's going to move his truck for. And if it's not enough money, if he's not okay with the money that he's receiving to move a load from point A to point B, then he has the ultimate authority to just say no. That's just how it works. A freight broker can't make a truck driver take a load from point A to point B. A freight broker offers a price, they negotiate, they agree, both have to agree to move that load from point A to point B. And if the trucker says no, that load does not move. So when it comes to commissions, when it comes to the money that a freight broker makes on a load, that's decided by the freight broker and the truck driver. Stop the press, hold up, wait a minute. At the start of this video, Brandon, you told us that you were going to tell us what you thought about how much money freight brokers should make. You got it right. I am going to tell you exactly what I think a freight broker should make. Here it is. A freight broker should make the difference of what he offers a shipper on the front end and what is negotiated between him and the carrier. Whatever that number is. If he negotiated $1,500 on the front end and offered that amount to the shipper, $1,200 to the carrier, then the freight broker should make $300. Whatever the difference is between those two numbers is the number that the freight broker should make. Now I can already see it. I can see some of you already thinking in your mind. You got your calculator out in your head and you're thinking to yourself, when I calculate those numbers, that's 20% that freight broker is making on that load. There's no way a freight broker should be making 20%. If there's a total of $1,500 in the load and he's making $300, that's a 20% call on that lane. Why is a freight broker making 20%? He shouldn't be making 20%. And the only way I would respond to that frame of thinking is to say to you, says who? Who says that the freight broker shouldn't make 20%? Where did you get that from? Think about it this way. Let's say the lane was calling for the carrier to get paid $1,000. When we look at the lane says it's a $1,000 lane. And the carrier negotiated $1,200 in the lane. Should he be capped at $1,000? Of course not. He should get the amount that he negotiated. So if the freight broker negotiates more in the load on the front end, there is absolutely nothing wrong, in my opinion, for him to take 20% on that type of load. All lanes are not the same. All lanes are not going to work out the same way. Sometimes you're going to have certain dynamics that are working in that lane that are going to call for you to be able to get more money on the front end of that load. That's not going to work that way every single time. When the freight broker does more work, when he's able to get more money in a load, isn't it okay that he takes a little bit more for himself? Absolutely. If the carrier can take a little bit more for himself, then certainly a freight broker can do the same. That is called capitalism. That's how it works. That's called negotiating. And you're not going to stop a person from negotiating to get what they want out of a lane. And for those of you who say that the freight broker's commission should be capped, we got to look at it both ways because the negotiation blade has two sides. So let's just say I, as a freight broker, go in with the shipper and I give a bad bid on a lane. I bid the lane way too low. And I'm telling you this from experience because I have done this. As a new freight broker, I underbid a lane $1,500. So what you're saying is if my money is capped, I have to make 10% on a load. That means whatever number is in that load, you're going to take less money as a truck driver. You are basically going to give me that $1,500 back, and we're going to say, okay, we're going to start even, and you're going to get 10%. No truck driver in his right mind is going to do that. He is going to bid, he's going to negotiate, and he's going to get a number that is right for him and his truck. That's how it works. He's not going to have any sympathy for my error on the front end. And he shouldn't, because that's my error. So when I make the error, I have to eat the cost, right? But when it comes down to us negotiating, when we're talking about the numbers that you have to be at in order to make your truck work, when I'm telling you what it is that where I want to be, and we come up to an agreeable number, regardless of what those numbers are, if we agree on it, that's what it is. Simple as that. That's how it works. And let's address this also, because I know many of you are going to say this in the comments. We should be able to see as a truck driver what you're going to the shipper at. Okay, all right, let's say that you can see what I'm going to the shipper at. What if I again go to the shipper at a number that I can break even at? Does that mean if I break even, you're going to say, no, Brandon, we're not going to allow for you to break even. You have to make 10% on that load, even if I have to take less money. Nope, you're not going to do that. Also, let's use this example. Let's say that you are going to the shipper yourself. Are you going to tell the shipper, hey, I need to see what you've been paying in this lane over the last 30 days. I need to see what you paid in this lane over the last 90 days, over the last 12 months. No, you're not going to say that. You are going to decide where your numbers need to be. You are going to take a look at the distance, how far you're traveling, how much time it's going to take you, what that lane is calling for as far as what the numbers are in that lane, and you are going to give a number based on what the lane calls for, what your truck calls for. How you remain profitable is knowing what your numbers are. That's how it works. And it shouldn't be any different when you're working with a freight broker. So 15%, 20, 25, 30%, maybe even 0. Any of those numbers would be correct, depending on how much money the freight broker negotiated on the front end. Now, I don't see any scenario where a freight broker should make more money than a carrier. That just doesn't make sense to me. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I certainly hope this information has been helpful. If you want to learn more about the freight broker business, I'll leave a free link in the description. It's my 5-video series. It's titled How the Load Movement Process Works. It gives you a chance to come into the office with me via video, and you can watch me as I move loads, talk to shippers and carriers to give you a better understanding of how this business works before you come into it. And then if you're interested in getting you a shirt just like this, don't forget to go to the bottom of this video and click on one of those sweaters like this, and you'll be able to see the full range of what we offer. So until the next time, I wish you the very best in your life and business. See you at the top, because the bottom is much too crowded.